Welcome to Poetry Palace TV. I am Tom Beal, and this is my Diary of a Poet series, episode 31. The intent of the show, if you're new, is to read Volume 18, Internal Revolutions, which is going to be coming up pretty quick. Poems I've been writing to my late wife since February of 2020. Unfortunately, I have not yet been able to read them in a composed manner. It was suggested that I simply start from the beginning so that I may get used to the idea slowly and add a bit more time to my process before actually trying to read those poems to you. If you would like to read along at another pace, the series is available to read for free at poetrypalacegiftshop.com. The producer of this show, as well as other fans, believe the verse in her volume is quite helpful for those who have lost a spouse. If you know someone who you feel might be helped, please suggest they check it out. In this episode, we are starting Volume 17. So we are getting close. I had hoped not to have to read her volume for another year. It is February 7th where I'm sitting right now. I have to do all these shows before I go back to work. And then next year I come back for season number 2. That didn't work out. So I have this book to read and then hers starting next week. So I do hope you have been enjoying yourself. And we have one book to go through, and then it will be time to read her volume. Diary of a Poet, Volume 17, Picking the Pen Back Up. The first poem in this book was written the day after Stephen Hawking died, and it has a quote from a movie with a little bit of foul language in it, so I cannot read that. Please check it out on the site. So this was put together after hers started. Hers was online with no numbers because this was not yet done. So once this was completed, then I was able to number her poems, and now her poems are all numbered. And I may have to write some more books that have no numbers on them if I continue to write to her and start writing other stuff. Anyway, Volume 17, Picking the Pen Back Up. Dear reader, this book seems so life-appropriate, having a birthday poem to little Linda May and ending with how I could have lived with her for 1,000 years. With a couple dedicated to a friend, Clint Bales, who was a neighbor at a neighboring table at dinner on a cruise, I decided to fire up the laser printer and make a real copy for his wife, Susan. Since I cannot really tell you how good my poetry is in being taken seriously, I asked her if she could write an introduction. The return text was more than I could have hoped for. Tom, your poetry about Clint really touches me. I wish we had had it at his memorial. I think you are getting better with your poetry, and you have a way with words that gets a message across so beautifully. Thank you for sending me the book. I am not much of a creative writer, but I will try to compose something. You have a great gift. Susan Bales. I do hope you find some lines that touch your heart or sing to your soul as you read this. Number 1148, Moments with Clint. It has been a year since I met that smile, and today I get to see it again. I was changed by its infectious style, seeing more than I was able to then. A voice demands above and beyond, and giving no explanation of how. A man before whom eras have dawned, yet a man seemingly settled in the now. Living the definition of drive, apparently expecting nothing less, he helps me celebrate they're alive, with all his insights, joys to express. This perspective is tainted, I know, by the limited seconds we have shared, but thank you for helping me to grow, simply by showing me how much you cared. Number 1149. Today, I tried to write the other day. Nothing but false starts. I guess sometimes that's just the way when it comes to hearts. Another birthday coming quick. Not sure what to do, but write a poem that's downright sick with word flowers for you. I'm still not sure just how this works, how to build a poem. Blank is only one of mine's quirks, while heart holds a tome. There was no love lost when we met, but I kept your eye. Something somewhere made you forget, lose your sense of shy. There I came when you stood alone, you did not foresee. When you needed attention shown, surprise again, it's me. Was straight from there to overdrive, roads we had not seen. Celebration of our alive, and all we could glean. 5 months later we got our rings. We were meant to be. We have yet to share many things, only time can see. I dare to think my ship came in, suggested a cruise, and that turned into quite a win. We just could not lose. Had camping adventures in Maine, fast ride on the track. Now so many trips it's insane, we keep going back. Then our summertime rides to Brown's, that never gets old. Family always has happy sounds, oh, such love they hold. There are 6 grandchildren to see, and how is that so? Weren't the oldest just 1 and 3? Oh, how fast they grow. So now your sons with girls and boys, bigger family still. Furniture just to hold the toys, memories to fill. You must be proud of what you've done, watching them do well. Watching grandchildren is such fun, come out of their shell. So then we put them side by side, your daughter and mine, and took them for an ocean ride, played dress up and dine. What a delightful time we had, floating on the sea. So once again I can play dad, bigger family. The single link to this big chain, one which made it all, is the love you show at the rain, how you never fail. You made the world a better place, simply being you. Now you are aging with such grace, the way ladies do. Happy birthday, little Linda May. Number 1150. So it has been a decade or longer that my pen has had so little to write. Had life gifted the flair of dramatic, I might just call it my dark soul of night. Yet there was nothing in the 90s than the revival of voracious verse, the frantic of a new millennia, the interest in its poets diverse. More failure in the rhyming of commerce landed me harshly right back at square one. I set it aside in search of money, and quite honestly, I thought I was done. I thought one day I will just hand it out, but that dusted with all on someday's shelf. In the end, it would not leave me alone. Alas, I have kept that promise to self. I went and bought me a laser printer, taking scores of copies with me to the sea. Not quite the dream I had of world famous, although that gifting has set this poet free. 1151. 180 jobs later, give or take, because I am not quite sure. Possibly due to Poetry Palace, those totally naive pipe dreams of yore. Celebrating 13 years in July, a milestone I did not expect to see, was mostly the boss and letting me grow. Never knew what an angel he would be. Again, dreams threatened to put me in pipe as I now kindle the verse of the past. Yet this time, with years of career in place, there is actually funding at last. There remains the naked before the world. O digital billions within my reach. How does one advertise poetic load? Should I make light of the 30-year breach? At least I know it's the efforts that count. And detachment is the name of the game. Finally, it's eyes that I just want to see. Dead the desire of riches and fame. Number 1152. 11 years in this dump truck, 23,000 hours of joy. It's not quite how I imagined when playing on that rock as a boy. Days I did not know the blessing, did not know they were part of the dream. Autos and homes and the cruises, realizing now the bitter was cream. I saw the sweat of summer, along with the frigid of late fall. All the ires of angry workers, even the harmony of it all. In a third of a million miles, I've seen country and city and shore. The winters I do as I please have all ended with just wanting more. Number 1153. Potentially explosive devices infiltrated post offices this week. Is the government trying distraction for the underhanded tactics they seek? There is a mob approaching the border, horrified folk risking death to find free, while do unto others is distorted. 2,000 years of blind cannot see. So much for enlightened society and technological wonders we build. I think that the annals of history will just be a list of those we have killed. Or maybe the dire of appearances is just the wake-up call that mankind needs. And the best that we can even hope for is awareness of our thoughts and our deeds. Number 1154. 189 people go down in a plane into the sea. How is it I did not feel a thing? How do we process catastrophe? And this, at the end of Pipe Bomb Week, the shopping center in Elder too. The love lost with those challenged brothers who died in the temple of the Jew. Then the woman who blew herself up and that caravan pushing for free. Will midterms elections change a thing? What is it we are supposed to see? Mortal is fatal and shall remain. In what ways have we prolonged the fail? What truths have been hidden that we need? And what are the lies we must curtail? 1156. Perception seems to be the name of the game. Perspective then must be our matter of choice. Attention is how we distribute power. Our aim is the echo of our own inner voice. Our elders, of course, wanted to help us grow, but they were limited by isolation. Their desire for change made a smaller world, though failed attempts left us with desolation. We are now connected by wireless thought, most likely because a few knew we were one. And now, with great wealth of knowledge there is no limit to what we can get done. I guess we'll end it right there for today. Thank you very much for joining me for this episode of Poetry Palace TV. I hope there was something that caught your ear. Please feel free to check out the website, and I hope to see you again next week. Adios.